Leadership. It's a very talked about topic, and there are a lot of false prophets. So I'm going to go through, because I get blessed to work with great leaders all over the United States. There's absolutely 5 undeniable laws that tell me what kind of leader you are. Are you a kind of like a scorekeeper, or are you actually a player coach involved in what we're doing? We're going to go through that, and you can decide. But I'll tell you which ones make the most money, have the most influence, and leadership at the end is influence. Number 1, are you a player coach that affects the outcome for your sales entities, or are you just a scorekeeper keeping track of what people do and don't do? There's a huge difference. Accountants, for example. They're accountants that are either active player coaches with you and your finances, or they're scorekeepers. TurboTax, you send it in, they type it in, they say, yep, this is it, they send it back. They're a scorekeeper. They're just, yep, one for you. Oh, take that one away. Oh, yep, that's fine. Those folks don't create an impact. They have no influence impact with their sales people they work with, whether those be agents or sales and title, mortgage, anything in real estate or anything anywhere. I like player coaches. When you've played and coached, when you can go sit in a meeting and add value, when you can come and offer a different perspective, when you can come because you're at that meeting, that prospect and or client to be is actually more engaged because you've added value to it because of your knowledge, your advice, your experience. So as a leader, number 1, don't be a scorekeeper. Be an active participant, player, coach with those 3 things such that you add value to meetings you attend, people you engage on behalf of your sales executives. Number 2, without exception, sales entities need consistency from their leaders. When people aren't consistent, it says that maybe they're not sure which direction they're going. They don't know whether, and again, if the goal for sales is always growth. Get that in the head. It's always growth. Now, to create growth in sales, you have to have a consistent cadence of communication, a consistent cadence of accountability, a consistent cadence of meetings, and it can never level. Because if we got to cancel next week's meeting, guys, sorry. Oh my gosh, we've got this coming. We'll do it back again in 2 weeks. Oh, we have to cancel the next one because no one cares about the reason why. They just know if you're canceling and moving meetings around, they must not be that important. I always say I never miss a sales meeting with my executives because that meeting matters. So when we have it, we go full 2 hours. I'm conscious, I'm involved, I'm engaged, I'm there. And they know I'm showing up that way, so they better show up that way. So what is your consistent communication? You also can't ask them to say, I want you to get back to clients within 1 hour and call them back right away. And then when they call you, when your sales executives call you for something, and it takes you 2-3 days to get back to them, it doesn't work. Because I can't hear what you say because what you do shouts in my ears. So at the end of the day, I always say, here's the expectation you have from me. Then I tell them which communication pathway I want to be communicated with to give them the best result. People are like, Steve, I shot you an email. I go, an email, I'm going to get back to you in 24 to 72 hours. Because I got a lot of email, I'm busy, and it's my least important communication. Email, I always say, is somebody else's agenda for me that day. I'm not running it that way. Number 1, if you need me, call me. If you call me, you can't get me, text. Those are the 2 ways. I will get back to you within under 30 minutes. In most cases, I never have a meeting longer than 30 minutes. So if I'm in the meeting ends, I say I got a call and a text. I know it's important. I respond. I also teach folks when they do call and text and it's not important, that that's not a very good thing. And then I teach them the difference between what is urgent but not important. Urgent is loud. I need this, but not important. Important is there's something really we have to deal with that's going to affect revenue at a high level. Now I want to be called and now I want to be texted. Teaching people the difference matters, but your cadence of consistency is critical to be thought of as an influential leader. Number 3, what's your scoreboard? What is what you track? What is what you play and how public is it? Every sales organization that is successful, every single one, 100%, have a scorecard, a scoreboard, a way for people to know exactly where they sit within the organization, within their peers, within everybody else in the space. The easier you make that scoreboard to read, kind of like a dashboard of a car, how fast am I going, how much gas or what's my battery space left, Yep. Am I on track with where I'm going? Great. I can look at the whole thing and in 6 to 8 seconds know if I'm on the right track or if there's a problem. From your perspective, I should be able to look at your sales accountability scoreboard and literally in 10 seconds go, oh, these guys at the top in green, good. These guys in the middle in yellow, not so good. These guys at the red and bottom, probably in trouble. It should be that easy. And when you make it public and everybody sees it, you know what? People get better. It self-corrects behavior. Now, you're going to hear this from some of your executives, some of your salespeople. Oh, I don't feel comfortable that way. I don't like that. You know who doesn't like scoreboards? People that lose. You know who loves scoreboards? People that win. You want winners on your sales team. If the goal is growth, and it should be in business, then the reality is you better have a compelling scoreboard that's public, that everybody can see, and that you can then make sure everybody on the sales team sees it, so it self-corrects those folks that aren't doing the things they need to be doing. They'll either move up and get better, or they'll move out. Either one of those helps you immensely as a leader. So again, if you want to lead and be great, you've got to have a scoreboard that's easy to read, that people understand, that people can go in and get better at should they choose to. Number 4, do your salespeople make more money with you than without you? See, I used to track every year. Did you make more money with me? Because when they come, I always say, what did you make? Give me your last 3 W-2s. All right, combine that. So right now you're at $100,000. Fantastic. So if I can help you make $125,000, that would be great. $150,000 would be amazing. Awesome. And I track it. And when I remind them when they say, oh, this is hard, or, oh, I'm not sure, I go, great, that's okay. But just making sure before we met, you were making $100,000. Last 2 years combined, you're making $186,000. That's an 86% increase in what you were doing before. So I like them to understand that with me, they make more money. And when you as a sales leader are a player coach, are actively involved in their success, you need to be looking at their money. Don't just look at yours. That's not a good recipe for long-term success. Look at theirs. I always made sure my compensation was tied to the growth of my team. If my team did better, I wasn't worried about me doing better. That's the reality. Their growth, because of your involvement, makes you invaluable to them and gives you more influence. And the best leaders are the most influential. Number 5. What's your accountability standard? Is it crystal clear? See, sales executives, salespeople are like kids. They're like puppies. If they don't know the rules, they're always kind of frustrated. They cry a lot, they bark a lot, they scratch doors a lot. When people know what's expected of them, what they're asked to do, and how they're asked to do it, and it's consistent, and they're accountable, they understand. I always say this is the minimum standard to be in our firm. If you can't do these things, we call it the rules of engagement. If you can't meet our rules of engagement, then you can't work here. It's as simple as that. We're not apologetic for it. We don't say it's hard. This is just our rules of engagement. If you don't want to work here, I totally get it, but we're going to have this expectation every single day, and you're accountable to it. I'm accountable to it as well. I don't have a standard for them and a standard for me. It's our accountability standard. I will meet it every day, and if I don't, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be your leader. I shouldn't be running it. So now when you stand up and you're in the same accountability boat as they are, those folks then want to go to battle for you. You ever wonder why the greatest coaches, Nick Saban, Jim Harbaugh, people that coach every day, right, and win every day, they're having themselves held to the same standard that they have their players held to. That is the reality of how business works. So from a leadership perspective, leadership is influence. It's as simple as that. You want more influence, take these 5 undeniable laws of creating more influence and make them your own.